Hello, everyone. Today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified series, number 122, Carl Doc Greer. I'm very excited to get a look at this one. We've been needing a medical officer for the Joes now for a while, and who better to start with than the very first doctor, Doc, ironically. There, of course, were others like Lifeline and such, but this is the original one, and this is a very, very fun-looking figure. I haven't opened him up yet, but he looks very cool. This is the G.I. Joe Classified logo here, the Classified logo. This is the new packaging style, which will probably get changed again anyways because they change them all the time. So let's see how long this one lasts. There are, of course, some little icons here on the side here, which means something to somebody. I don't know. He's doing the rock eyebrow for some reason. QR code you can scan that leads you to nowhere. There, of course, is a nice shot of Doc in war-torn burning Middle East. I don't know. It's not a pleasant looking environment. Product shots as well. Carl Doc Greer. Various legalese. Don't put stuff in your mouth. On the side here, very nice shot here of again him doing the rock eyebrow for some reason. Number 122 on the side. But yeah, that is the packaging. Let's get him open. And here we have Doc, not on this mini base because I still can't find it. I gotta look around for it somewhere. I'm moving is a nightmare. You always lose stuff. But point is, Doc's here, and he looks fantastic. Genuinely looks so good. Just looking at him before taking the accessories and everything, moving a little closer, I really just like this design for Doc. This obviously isn't a perfect classic retro version because he's got the chest rig. I would not be surprised if down the line they released a retro carded one with the chest rig off. That's really all you need to make a classic Doc. You get rid of that, you get classic O-ring 84 retro Doc, and you're good. And this is, again, like I said, really good looking figure. I really like the tan. I like the design of Doc in general. He looks like, well, obviously looks like a soldier, but he's kind of like relaxed, a little less. He's not wearing a full like uniform. Like he obviously is, but he's not like dressed like all the others. He looks like a medical officer. Big medic on the left shoulder right there. On the right, there is a attempt at some sort of medical logo. The Red Cross is licensed, meaning that you can't just use it. It's not just a thing that you can use, so they always have to modify it slightly to something else in order for them to get away with something like that. So that's what they do here. There is, of course, a medical logo. There's a cross here, a flare here, the flare gun here. It's got a flashlight, pen, all the stuff on here. There's the same chest rig that's on the 60th anniversary figure, which I think that came first before this did, technically speaking. But on his helmet here, I really like that you can see the two little pill bottles on either side, although they kind of look like they're each one half of the same pill bottle. But that's nice that he has the two pill bottles on the side there because you're obviously going to need medication like that when you're in the field. Now, a lot of Doc is reuse. The pants, basically the whole lower body and the torso here. Actually, no, not the torso. The pants right here are from the shipwreck figure. The pants and legs are from the shipwreck figure. I believe the torso is the same one that Dusty used, but I could be wrong. It looks similar. Either that or Duke. I think it might be Duke's. But similar piece right there. As for the shoulders and the arms, I think these are new. I don't think they're any of the ones that we've seen before. I thought they were from the Televiper, but they're not. They're different. New belt piece here, new hip, new holster here for his taser, new little hip piece here as well. And of course, the biggest one right here is the big piece right, which we'll look at later, the stretcher. But this is mostly reuse, but it's good reuse. I will never complain about reuse, honest to God. If it's a good figure, if it's good pieces, I have no problem with reuse, especially when you're getting a toy line like G.I. Joe, which was built on reuse almost. But as for articulation, let's get this gear off of him so we can actually look at that. Before we get too far into articulation, I want to point out something really nice here that I didn't notice before. Doc has a little bit of gray on the temples there, on the side of his head, because the original version did have that. So that makes sense that you have a little bit of gray right there, which I think is nice. As for articulation, though, getting to it, head is on a ball joint, obviously, so he can look up that far, can look down that far, not a whole lot, honestly. There are butterfly joints here, but these are real tight. Goes that far back, goes that far forward. On both sides, there is, of course, a swivel at the shoulder. Can go up that far, a little rotate there. Swivel at the bicep, double jointed pinless arms. The right arm is an up and down hinge, and the left arm is a side to side hinge, like so. And he also has a nice little watch molded on that arm. There is some stuff you can do with the body. It is hard though because this chest rig is kind of in the way of the whole thing. So you can get an ab crunch going, but it's real tight and you really can't do much with it. There's a ball joint here at the waist though, which gives a lot of motion here, which is nice. Drop down hips, classic GI Joe versions. Swivel at the upper thigh, double jointed, pinless knees. Again, this is the same legs that came with Shipwreck, so if you have that figure, you know exactly how this is going to work. Pop the knees down like so. There is really rough foot articulation because this is the same Shipwreck, and as you know, it's really hard to move anything around there, but it does have all the articulation joints that a regular GI Joe figure would have. It's just they're really tight on the feet there because he's got the boot cut jeans from 1978. So yeah, that's articulation. Now, as for the accessories that come with Doc, starting off here, we have the glasses, the green glasses that are iconic for Doc. You need those absolutely for this figure. Focus, please. There we go. I don't think these are the same one that came in the 3-pack Baroness. I think these are a little bit bigger, just slightly bigger. But yeah, these are the glasses that it comes with. They are molded in green and painted black. And let me tell you something, putting those on alongside this helmet here is a real pain, really hard to do. Speaking of the helmet, this is, of course, a classic, kind of standard early 2000s military style helmet. What I think is really cool, like I said, are the pill bottles on the side here and the little bit of like cloth or something, little piece of string that holds the pills in place. Really nice. Hops on the head there very well. There is, of course, all of these pouches. We're only going to look at them very briefly, but this is the one that matters the most because it has printing on it. All these pouches we've seen on the 60th anniversary figure and big one, medium-sized one, slightly smaller one, real tiny little one. If you have that one, you know how they work. Or if you don't, I mean, you'll learn. And they can go into various whatever ports you want for Doc here. Like you can grab the big one, you can put it up here if you want. If you want to look like a weirdo, you can put it up there or down here or on the side. They go anywhere. They are one size fits all. So if you want to put them in some weird places, go for it. Have fun with that. But yeah, that's those pieces right there. Then there is this one, which is all new, actually. Oops, dropped it. All new. It is a holster for the flare gun, which we can remove here. Again, the same peg system, so you can put that on any part or on the back of any figure because it's the same hole size. I don't know why you would do that, but you can do that. It's an option. Just a little holster there for the flare gun because Doc is, of course, a doctor. He has signed the Hippocratic Oath, which means he cannot take a life or harm a life. So he is a medic first, which is why his main weapon is a flare gun. And it has the proper blast effect port size in there. So if you have any of those blast effects that came with like the Viper 3-pack, you can put that in there so it looks like it's actually firing out flares, which I think is very cool. They didn't have to do that, but I appreciate they did that. I really like this flare gun, by the way. It's just bright orange. It just looks like one of the ones that you'd get in the medical kit, like box of stuff, and I like that a lot. I like that that is a weapon that he gets included with. He doesn't get a knife, doesn't get a gun, he gets a flare gun. And he also gets a taser. And I wish that this was painted a little bit yellow. If I can... Ooh, focus. Focus on me there. Oh, it's about as big as I'm going to get. The flare gun is very nice. Again, I wish it was painted something a little yellow. Anything else just to add some color to it, some life. But yeah, that is the flare gun, the flare gun, the taser that it comes with, my bad. And then this is the big piece, is the stretcher, which is a huge piece. This thing is giant. It's basically the length of a classified figure. Obviously, it folds up like so you can put it on his back, or it folds out so you can have someone carrying it, someone laying on it, moving around. Be fun for taking photos. I think the main issue with it, though, is that it doesn't lock in. I feel like if this was there was like a clip here or something that just like snap in, it would probably be a lot better. But since it doesn't, it kind of folds in or out like so it doesn't tend to sit super well because you're just laying like that and you're like, boop, just crushed in on itself. But you can find a way to work around that, especially if you're holding somebody on it like this. You're holding them on like this. I think it's supposed to lay like this because the peg is here, so I think you're supposed to lay someone on their back, put it in the peg, and then have them walking it like so. But I could be wrong. But yeah, it's very cool that they include that. Actually, no, maybe not, because the straps, they're right there. So actually, maybe you're supposed to lay them like this. That's, I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, the stretcher is a very nice inclusion. They didn't need that, but I like that they did because it came in the original toy, I believe. So very cool inclusion there. And those are the accessories that come with Doc. As for size comparison with Doc, we have the retro carded Cobra Commander, which is kind of funny that he's a little bit taller than Doc. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Cobra Commander should always kind of be shorter than anybody. He seems like that'd be the type of guy who he is. But they look really cool together. And again, I hope we do get that retro carded version of Doc at some point down the line, because having this Cobra Commander just really makes me want like modernized retro versions of literally everyone, which I'm sure we'll get at some point. But yeah, he looks very nice next to Cobra Commander. Here we have him next to my most recent review of Big Boa, who stands a hell of a lot taller than him. Wow, Big Boa is huge. He kind of towers over basically everyone in my Cobra collection and my Joe collection too, which is crazy. So yeah, there's Big Boa. Besides Big Boa, here he is next to an actual Joe member. We have Duke, the retro carded Duke, who he looks really nice next to. Hang on, he's falling over a little bit because I had him on a display stand. I'll hold him like that. But he looks really good next to him. Again, I just love this look, and having Duke next to him really like accentuates the point that I said earlier of kind of wanting a retro carded version of literally everyone, because this is classic Duke. So I feel like if I had the classified Duke, the first version, it would look really good next to him. But yeah, there he is next to Duke. And here he is next to the person of whom pants he stole, Shipwreck, who are roughly the same height. Again, different torso piece, different arm pieces, but still the same bottom port. And actually, if you look on the Doc figure, you can see he has the same belt buckle that Shipwreck has, which is like the hook and everything, which I think is very funny. So yeah, there he is next to Shipwreck. So yes, there is the classified Doc figure. Really, really good. I really like this figure a lot. I really hope we get, like I said earlier, that classic retro carded one, because I know a lot of people are going to want that. I like this one as is, but again, I would like to see without the chest ring. You can obviously take that off, but it takes tearing the pieces off. It's a really good figure. I really like him. I hope this means that we get the eventual version of his, I believe, daughter or niece, the second iteration of Doc from the Resolute movie, and of course later toy lines. But yeah, really, really good figure. I really like this Doc a lot. If you liked this video, thank you. Like it, comment, subscribe, get everything you've done for me to keep doing videos that I love to make. And yeah, it's about it. Don't have much else to say. I'm going to be working on a video here soon about all the stuff that happened this month. There was a lot of reels. I was just going to make a video about Comic-Con, but then there was like MCM London and then a whole bunch of stuff that happened. So it's going to be busy. So I'm going to try and work on that. Basically just make a video at the end of October being like, this is everything that happened in the month of October, toy-wise. Because a whole lot of stuff happened. But yeah, thank you for sticking into this. Like I said, if you liked it, do all that stuff to get done. And I will see you next time. Yo, Joe.